Yeah, it says offline.
Okay, so that's because he's having his connection issues. So let me wait till he gets it on. Hopefully it'll be in a couple of minutes before we start talking about stuff, so that
Agreed. Yeah,
the people that watch it later on the people that watch it later on the recording won't miss out on anything. It's not very fair. So Docklord said it's online now, and it should be streaming on YouTube as well. Is that right? Is it on?
Good.
I can stream.
I don't see it.
Is it on now?
Is it?
Yeah, I can see it streaming.
He told me it's on.
Yeah,
Okay.
It is on.
Sounds good.
Okay, awesome. Let me in that case, let me crack open the. I think we'll start off by saying, I mean, the main update we brought out this week was regarding the game. I'm sure everyone saw it yesterday. For those that didn't see it, then I know it's just been shared in the group a minute ago by Sid. Sid just shared it a minute ago. So if you've not read it, then please take a look. Basically, we go a lot more in detail into what the Bezoge is made up of. So everyone knew that the Bezoge was made of 8 different colors, but we didn't really reveal the fact that those 8 different colors represent different attributes that the Bezoge will have. So the first one that we have released is the attack attribute, right? So if you have a Bezoge that has part of its body is red, it will have increased attack. So basically based on how many body parts. So the more body parts it has that are red, the more attack it's going to have added onto its base attributes. So each Bezoge is going to have a base attribute, and then the certain colors of its body will increase its attributes on those very specific ones. Right? So red is attack. I was going to say some more there, but I'm not going to. We're going to keep you hanging for that. But that's basically the story of the red Bezoge. So let me go through and read through it for you guys, because I think might make it a little bit more dramatic, if I'm able to actually read the story to you in my lovely half Chinese, half Scottish accent. Let me just open it up. Is there any questions from the community before I start, by the way?
No.
Okay, so let me. Doglord is using his hotspot, so he can't actually speak right now. Otherwise, there'll be a big echo. So he said he's here, but he can't speak. Okay, so the article is the origins of the red Bezoge. So I think you can see in the render that we made. This is basically a rough idea. We've not revealed the whole map yet or anything like that, but this is part of what the map will look like. So as you can see, we said before it will be sort of blocks, much like Minecraft in style, but the gameplay is of course going to be completely different. I mean, you're going to be searching for enemies, and I'm not going to go into too much detail again, but you can see there's an enemy in the distance. I think some people in the group sort of are trying to work out who the enemy might be.
Those eyes look very Shiba-like.
Those eyes, the eyes look mighty Shiba-like. Yeah, there's a little bit of an Easter egg. So this is the first. Well, I'll let you guys, or try and think of it for yourself. And we want a bit of speculation on who the enemies will be. But you'll begin to see more and more as we bring out more articles. Little aspects of how the game works, but we won't be revealing too much directly and actually saying what each aspect of the game is, but we will be revealing little aspects like that, like you can see in the background, and things like that in each article and each render, so you'll be able to see. So if you go through, you can see in there, there's the red Bezoge, all 4 of them. They're pretty angry looking. If you look, they're sort of gritting their teeth. They're really angry. They're a bit unstable, and you certainly wouldn't want to bump into one of them in a dark cave, especially if they're wielding the legendary green candle that you can see them holding there. So a little bit of a background there. Our original idea is that we wanted the green candle because it kind of matches the meme, right? Of on the chart, you got a green candle when the price is going up, right? And the enemies have the red candles. But you'll see that we didn't make it actually a green candle, right? We wanted a weapon that's quite fierce and actually can do some damage in the game. But as metaphorically, it represents a green candle. So you can see it's green. It's made of wax. It has a wick at the top. I don't know if many people will have noticed, but there's a wick at the end of the blade, and it's on fire. So the aim of this legendary weapon, which will be probably one of the best weapons in the game, is you can not only attack using it, but you can also light the way in dark places. So if you've got a worse weapon, you might only have to keep switching between a torch or a candle and your weapon to attack to be able to see. But with the green candle, you're able to actually just see in dark caves and also attack without having to switch between different weapons. So it gives you a distinct advantage in the game.
I love how you tied it into the green candles. That is awesome.
Oh, we've had the green candle idea for about 2 months waiting. We've just not been able to release it yet. But I think we're at the stage now that we're going to be releasing a lot more. So over the next few weeks, we're definitely planning to release a lot more about the game in the lead up to the NFT sale, which we mentioned last week. So the goal is to release all the information about the Bezogis we can leading up to the NFT sale. So hopefully we'll have the NFT sale sooner rather than later. We don't have a date yet, but that'll be updated as soon as there's a firm date. So as you can see, there's 8 different colors of Bezoge. And so each one is representing the different attribute, like I said, based on the size of their body. So we'll go into more detail in a later article, but the different parts of the body have different ratios. I mean, if you can imagine the nose is a very small portion of the body, right? In comparison to the eyes, the fur highlight color, and then the actual fur color. So each one would give you a different attribute boost based on the color that it is. Also, if you go into, we say in the article, it says each color represents one of 8 unique attributes that coincide with the 8 bloodlines of the Bezoge and represents their direct bloodline to the legendary purebreds. So if you look at what a purebred is a Bezoge that is all one color. So it's the purebreds. And then when you go down, you'll see if the Bezogis are mixed with different colors, they're then a mixed breed, right? They're no longer a purebred. Just like you have dogs in real life, you have different breeds of dogs. If they have multiple breeds in their bloodline, then they're then not a pure breed. They'll be a mixed breed. So we kind of tied the colors in with the way that the breeding is done in real life with dogs, because most dogs are not pure breed in real life either. So it's very rare to come across a pure breed in the game. And I think, in fact, in the first tokens, in the first NFT sale, there will only be 8. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's only 8 pure breeds in total. So that's going to be really hard to get across. 8 out of 4,096, I think it's 0.05% or something like that, maybe even lower than that. But a very low percentage of them will be pure breeds. So that's going to be something that you really want. They're going to be very rare. I think that sort of goes into it. I mean, I'm not going to read the whole article out to you guys, because I think most people will have read it already, or at least you can read it from the posts. But that's the main thing we're working on. So as I said, there's going to be a lot of content coming out over the next few weeks about each color. It would be really interesting to get some people's ideas of what they think each color represents. we're not going to change it, of course, but it would be good to get people sort of speculating and to hear what your thoughts are on what these attributes could be, and also which ones you want to see first, because we're of course working on them all one by one. But if there's some colors that you guys are really interested in, we could potentially, change the order up of which ones we're going to release. Just depending on what people want to hear. So what, does anyone have any questions or feedback about the need to see the tank class color? Who said that? Who said there was a tank? Who said there was a tank class?
There's always a tank. I mean, there's always going to be a tank.
You might not be wrong.
I've been playing MMOs a long time.
Any word on any new exchange listings?
There's no exchange listings at the moment that we're launching, but as you know, we always only tell you about exchange listings after we've already confirmed it. So if we have any confirmed, we'll let you know.
Right on.
But exchange listings, from our experience, don't have a massive impact on price, because the only reason you would really launch on an exchange, at least a lot of meme coins launching on exchanges, is to impact their prices, right? To get a little pump. We're not that focused on getting quick pumps. You can see that when we do something like that, it's not in the long term. Of course, we'll be doing more exchange listings, but yeah, short term, we'll release them as they come.
From my experience, exchange listings do a really good bit for the price, especially for traders, etc. But you guys got a lot of good stuff going on with the project. Keep it up.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Is there any guideline on when the NFTs might be released?
The guideline is once we have released all 8 articles. So once we have all 8 articles, it'll definitely be sometime after that, very soon after that, we would like to hope. But the goal is as soon as possible. So if we can do it this month, we'll do it this month, but we don't want to guarantee.
Will you guys give us a day or so notice where we can get our setups in place for preparation for a specific time, or will it just be, hey, they're available, go get them?
The thing is, we'll look into how exactly we're going to do the launch. We've not got anything set in stone yet, and it's open to change. But because we discussed it last week about the pricing, how each tier will go up in price, we want to make sure it will most likely be not launched, not told a time. There won't be a time defined in advance. That's what I mean, because we don't want it to get botted. It's not good for anyone, right? So if we say a specific time and tell people a whole load of time in advance, it gives people with bots the chance to code them up and get them ready. So we would rather make it more of a randomized time, so that it doesn't get botted, and it's going to be a much more fair launch of the NFTs themselves.
Will
I'll
any
make sure
type
to
of
turn my notification on.
It's not really your wallet, right? So as long as it's a wallet that you've got access to the private key of, I don't see any issue because you could essentially import that wallet directly into MetaMask or into any other platform, right? So yeah, I would advise using a wallet that you have access to private keys of.
Okay, thank you.
Just for clarity, if you have the 12-word seed phrase, that's essentially the same, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
essentially the same. Any other questions?
So the
Unexpected
game.
one.
Are y'all going to be releasing the game in like an alpha or like a beta version? Is it going to be available through Steam? How, like, what platform are you guys going to be releasing it in terms of, for the general population to download it?
We're doing alpha first. We have that in our timeline. You can see that on the website. So the alpha will most likely just be a file that you can directly download from our website, rather than it being on Steam or anything like that. But we'll definitely look into adding it onto Steam for the final release. But alpha and beta will most likely just be directly downloadable on our website. And we'll add it to other platforms once it's in full release version.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Are you going to be able to buy the NFTs only with Bezoge, or it'll be ETH as well?
I mean, we discussed this last week. I think it's more beneficial for the project if we were to be buying in ETH and other currencies, because at this stage, people are very early on, right, in terms of price. We don't want to encourage people to spend something that they've just invested in order to buy an NFT. So we kind of want people to be bringing in ETH or USDT, or I think we'll definitely accept Bezoge, but it makes more sense to bring other currencies in.
Thanks for taking that approach and not putting too much out at a time, because we see what you guys are doing is being copied out there. So thanks for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, we keep everything kind of close to our chest. Any other questions from guys? There's a lot of people online here, but not a lot of questions. I guess a lot of people are at work because it's, during the day. Yeah, someone just said in the working, so I can't ask questions. But if anyone wants to ask questions, they can type questions. I see Sid said, are there any special requirements for the game? The idea is that we'll try and make the game as low requirement as possible, because we want people to be. I mean, if you know how NFT games work, the reason NFT games are trending is because it's play to earn, right? So when you find it's play to earn, let's say in a lot of these games, you can maybe make $20, $30 a day in-game resources from playing the games. This is how most NFT games are sort of working. So if it's play to earn, you'll find a lot of people in third world and developing countries will play the game because they can actually make more money playing the game than they can working. That's actually why NFT gaming, I think, is booming so much. So we want to cater for as many of those people as possible to allow them to be able to play the game. So that's why you'll see in the renders, the style of the game is very blocky, sort of like Minecraft. It's so that it's very low on resources as well. So we'll be designing the game to be as low resource intensive as possible so that as many people can play it as possible. And we'll also hope, the goal is to create also mobile versions of the game. So that should make it as accessible as possible. But at least PC and Mac versions of the game should be out first before the mobile version. Any other questions from the people on the call? I see Bobby's in here is very quiet. Bobby's being pretty quiet today. He's probably in the office. Crypto Don's quiet as well. No questions?
Somebody
Bobby's in
asked,
a meeting.
somebody asked, is ray tracing will be enabled?
I mean, I'm not going to go into specifics like that on this call. If ray tracing is enabled, it will be something that we can go into more detail when we relaunch the game. When is the next article coming out? Doglord's asking questions that he already knows the answer to. So we're he's trying to lead me, huh? So I mean the next article where the idea is not one per week. We're going to try and do a couple per week of articles. That's the goal. But we're in the process of rendering all the images, writing all the stories. We have the stories for each Bezoge, but it's a case of actually writing them out to make them sound really good and go into a lot of detail, because the content that we're creating here will then go to a wiki for the game later. So we want to be as specific as possible. Actually, we want to get some input from the community, actually. So if people have more ideas, they can go on and write some lore about the red Bezoge already in the DAO. If you can go on the Doggy DAO and write some lore about the red Bezoge, what you think it should be. As much community input on the backstory of these red Bezoge would be amazing. Very much like Warhammer 40k. If you look at 40k, there's an entire wiki of lore with the backstories of each character. We want to build up as much of that as possible, and community can be really great in that. So if anyone has any ideas like that, the DAO is a great place to do that. Right, what else have we got? Other questions? So I think that answered there's 8 skins to drop, right? That was Bobby's question. Couple per week? Yes. Hopefully a couple per week. As fast as we can pump them out, we'll pump them out. Next is Mimazon this month? No guarantees, but hopefully. That's as much as I can say on that one. We're working on it. We're almost finished with all the login for the platform and the payments. We're testing it right now, and we're making sure it works. And then we'll be tweaking the front end and everything and uploading all the products, and we should be able to launch. So this month, hopefully, but again, not guaranteed. Are we still trying to get Bezoge Battle on iOS? Yes, we are going through the process now of setting up a business account, like a company account with Apple, because Apple is a huge pain in the ass when it comes to getting games approved on personal accounts. Especially because it's crypto, they basically rejected one of our apps because we don't have a company account, and the other one they gave some kind of bullshit reason. So we think that from our experience, if we have a company, at least that's the way I think about it. It's someone else's wallet that they're letting you use. $100 a day would be amazing playing Bezoge MMO, but I think it's more likely $20 to $30 would be even amazing. Are we going to be
million?
Wait a second, let me go through the questions. There's a lot of questions now. I shouldn't have encouraged everyone to ask so many. Are we going to spend our Bezoge to upgrade our Bezoge? Yes and no. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. But I'm not going to go into too much detail on that because I don't know how to answer that question without giving away things that I can't give away. But I'm trying to think of a way that I can answer that without giving something away. Let me think. But it's yes and no. It's hard. So that's a yes and no. You could, but also you don't have to. There'll be a way that you can use other currencies, and you would be buying Bezoge in the process, which would increase the price of Bezoge as you're buying things for in the game. That's all I'll say. You don't need to spend Bezoge. Should throw random Bezoge legendary items through the world like an Easter egg hunt. So you're not far off what's going to be happening, but I'll not say much more. But what we will say we're doing is we're in making sure we have some sort of Easter egg or some sort of update about the game mechanics in each render that we have for the covers of all these articles. So keep an eye out on those. The next one should be very obvious. I'm sort of looking at the other one right now, and that the Easter egg is not really an Easter egg. It's very obvious. But we have Easter eggs in at least the renders, but not necessarily in the game. Okay. I know you can't say exactly when the NFTs. Let me read through these questions in the group first. I know you can't say exactly when the NFTs are coming out, but can you give a time frame? I don't want to miss out. I mean, Mons, I think your name is, or Mong. I don't know if it's French or not. We hopefully this month. That's the goal. The goal is this month. If we can do it this month, we will. So, like I said, hopefully this month. Closer to the time, what I can say is once 8 articles are out, you need to keep an eye out. So it'll be after there's 8 articles about every Bezoge. Keep an eye out, and the NFT sale should be not long after that. We're working on the NFT sale already. Any development on Mimazon? Probably I answered that already, so I'll skip that one. So payments for the NFTs and whatever coin will be paid into market info and no new wallet set up and go to the community. Yes, we'll be using wallets that everyone already knows about in the community. Most likely directly into the treasury. Right, well. Right now, I'll take some questions from the call because a few people are waiting. I think these questions came in after people were trying to ask in the call.
Yes,
Anyone
hi,
on the
I'm
call that
new
has a
to
question?
Yes, hi. I'm new to Bezoge, and I just wanted to make sure the Bezoge tracker that's on the Play Store is that an official thing that you all created before? Because I just wanted to make sure before I downloaded it.
Yes, we created that. And in the wallet,
Okay,
in
thank
that
you.
wallet application, there's actually no login or anything like that. So don't worry. All you have to do is you can either type in your ERC20 wallet address or you can scan a QR code. There's no actual linkage to your wallet. We don't take you don't sign any transactions or anything like that. It's all just type in your address, and it's all public information that we're using. So you don't need to worry about that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Was there another question from the community? I think 2 people asked questions on the call.
I see a lot of questions on the text version. People
Yeah,
are asking questions.
I've got a question. Are there going to be any articles about the enemies?
That is an entire article in itself. Yes, there will be articles about enemies, but it will be after. There's probably about 12 to 16 articles that are going to be coming out over the next month or 2. One of them will be about enemies.
Thanks.
You're more than welcome. But hopefully there'll even be some enemies teased in Easter eggs again. And like I said, actually, all of these articles that we create will be going into a wiki that we'll put on the website. So it'll all be in a very easy to read wiki for everyone, for new people that come in. They don't have to sit and look through Medium and go to all these different articles. All this content will be copied and pasted over into a wiki, so it's easy to understand for everyone. Right, here we are. Sid's asking, can I build an underwater hideout in Bezoge MMO game? Or are there any specific missions to complete in the game? Again, I'm revealing how the game works and things that we've not revealed yet. But underwater hideout, we've not built that in. There is water in the game. You can see it in the render. In the cave, there's water in the bottom, so there is definitely water. But an underwater hideout, maybe you could go into the DAO and actually write what you think that would be. But at the moment, the way you would probably drown. So your underwater hideout wouldn't be very useful. Any other questions? Can I have early access to legendary NFTs so I can sell it to Bobby for 100 ETH? No, is the answer to that one. It'll be a fair launch. You'll get a random Bezoge for everyone that you buy. Like we said that it will probably be limited to 10 per wallet. So you can buy up to 10. And you'll get a random Bezoge. No one can choose which Bezoge they want. Other than after they're sold, people will be able to trade them on a platform like Opensea or something like that. You'll be able to trade them and buy and sell them. So once they're launched, you'll be able to make an offer on Bezoges that are on Opensea. So you could buy it before Bobby gets it and sell it to him for 100 ETH. Is it possible to create village or city with Bezoge characters, build armies, etc., etc.? Again, the building will be very different. We talked about how it's going to be similar to Minecraft. I'm not going to say it. I can't really answer that one either without giving away too much.